Breaking news this morning concerning R&B singer and convicted felon R. Kelly. Take a look at this post on X, courtesy of TMZ, in which they say that R. Kelly was reportedly rushed to the hospital from an overdose of medications in prison. TMZ also releasing an article. I do want to read you some of the report that they have already issued here, as R. Kelly, TMZ says, is doubling down on his claim that his life is in grave danger in prison, now alleging the Bureau of Prison staff at his federal center in North Carolina purposefully gave him too much medication, causing an overdose that left him hospitalized. A court filing submitted by his attorney Monday claims R. Kelly was left bedridden in a hospital after a solitary confinement staff member instructed him to take additional medication the night of June 12th. The next morning, R. Kelly allegedly awakened feeling faint and dizzy, and when he attempted to get up, he fell on the floor, crawled to the door of the cell, and lost consciousness. He was subsequently taken to Duke University Hospital, and during the ride there, he claims he heard a prison officer begrudge, quote, "This is going to open a whole new can of worms." During his 2-day stay at the hospital, Kelly says he learned he was given an amount of his prescribed medication that could have ended his life. Furthermore, Kelly claims in his Monday filing that prison staff took him off necessary blood thinner medication.
Y'all said y'all heard that, miss. Ain't no trash can over there, so there's nothing to miss. Everything is going to be a miss. I just want to get it out the way. All right, I'm not going to throw the thing anymore. I'm not going to throw it anymore.
And is now refusing to allow him a doctor-recommended surgery to clear blood clots in his legs and lungs that are putting his life in danger. Instead, they have him locked up in solitary confinement, where Kelly has expressed to his lawyer he is convinced he will be killed or left to die. Therefore, the disgraced music mogul is asking for temporary release to home confinement for the third time, arguing his life depends on it. TMZ goes on to say that an assistant United States attorney swiftly filed a response to Kelly's request, alleging he continuously paints himself as the victim and adding, quote, "This is the behavior of an abuser and a master manipulator on display." The response also claims Kelly knowingly submitted an action to a court that has no jurisdiction over his case, accusing him of instead choosing to write to let his court know that he is cold in prison and to criticize the medical care that he is receiving in order to turn his situation into a grocery store checkout aisle tabloid. Kelly's latest filing comes just a week after his legal team sought his immediate release due to an alleged foiled murder-for-hire plot against him. His team submitted a sworn statement from another inmate who claimed authorities offered him release from prison if he murdered the singer.
50% simp said, "Free that guy. It's people that allegedly did worse." What? What? What are you talking about, fam? Yo, y'all want all of the criminals free. That's crazy. Nah, it's pretty insane. I just looked up because I wanted to see for myself. I just looked up, why do people need blood thinners? Because, I wouldn't know anything about that. And it says that blood thinners, also known as anticoagulants, are medications that prevent blood clots from forming. They are prescribed to individuals who are at an increased risk of developing blood clots, which can lead to serious health problems such as a stroke, heart attack, or pulmonary embolism. How would you know if you are at risk of blood clots and that you need to take medication such as blood thinners? That's what I'm trying to figure out. How would you know? Like, how do you know if you're at risk for blood clots? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Says his lawyer alleges that it was part of a murder plot. R. Kelly overdosed in prison. Court documents obtained by the Post claim that the Bureau of Prison staff at his federal center in North Carolina intentionally gave him too much medication, which caused him to overdose and be transferred to a nearby hospital. He's serving a 31-year sentence for child sexual abuse crimes, was forced to take medication in solitary confinement on the night of June 12th. Why is he in solitary confinement? 31 years. Good God. 31 years? R. Kelly ain't never getting out of jail. The next morning, Kelly allegedly felt faint and dizzy and started to see black spots in his vision. Tried to get up, fell to the ground before he called to the floor in his cell and lost consciousness. He said he heard a prison officer say this is going to open up a whole new can of worms. Well, of course, it's going to open up a whole new can of worms once everybody finds out in the news that he allegedly overdosed. Vonnice me says free Kells. Why do y'all? Let me ask this question because I'm not saying if he should or shouldn't. Why do y'all want R. Kelly free? Brothers Keeper says 31 years for something that happened in 1998. So wait a minute. Hold on, fellas. Hold on. Wait. Y'all saying that y'all believe that R. Kelly should be free? Chili P says not free, but 30 is wild. Okay, well, what is the amount that you believe that he should get for messing with girls underage and being caught on tape peeing on a chick? How much time? Connie said this could all be a part of a plan to get him released. Yeah, I believe it could be part of a plan also. But if Tory Lanez ain't getting released, what makes you think that R. Kelly could be released? How much time should a person get? And why are y'all saying free Kells? Onaka says we not doing this. The parents should have been held accountable too. Okay, cool. Somebody said 10 years. I didn't know that y'all was so y'all believe he should get 10 years, 25 years is life. Parents should have gotten the time too. What do y'all believe he should get? Chili P says 10 years. 20 years in jail, 10 on mental health. Why would somebody be trying to get rid of R. Kelly? What does R. Kelly know that they need to get rid of him that he wouldn't already have told? Somebody said 10 years, there was no rape. So you don't believe that messing with underage, because I remember at a time in our culture and our society that messing with a little girl or messing with underage girls was a no-no. Two things that we never tolerated. We didn't tolerate rapists and we didn't tolerate child molesters. So I'm guessing that that's changed. Listen, it's one thing if we talking about the Me Too movement. I don't believe in the Me Too movement. The Me Too movement is based off of women acting like something happened to them, but they can't necessarily prove it. And we don't know if it's true. And it's a lot of guys that's under duress for women saying things that didn't really happen. That's not what we talk about. And I know that he's a celebrity, but let's remove the celebrity from it. All right. Let's remove the celebrity from it. Let's say, for example, that R. Kelly was just Robert Johnson and he couldn't sing and you didn't know him. Here's the question. If you were able to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that he was messing with an underage girl, which I don't believe that there's anybody in here that would debate that R. Kelly probably messed with an underage girl. I didn't follow the case closely, so it's not really my thing, but apparently it was proven that he was messing with an underage girl. And I remember that it was a tape and he was out there peeing on chicks and all of that stuff. So if it's proven with evidence that he messed with underage girls, more than one, are you telling me that we no longer have the standards that I grew up having where child molesters and rapists are kind of like the bottom of the barrel, bottom of the earth? I'm just asking a question because I'm just curious. I just want to know. Goes on to say the attorney added that doctors discovered blood clots in both of Kelly's legs and lungs, but that he was allegedly removed from the hospital where he can get treatment. Can I check what he was convicted for? Sure. Here, I'll just pull it up on here. Sentence in the United States following 6 weeks of trial, indictment. A federal jury in Brooklyn convicted Kelly on all 9 counts of a superseding indictment charging him with racketeering predicated on criminal conduct, including sexual exploitation of children, forced labor, and Mann Act violations involving the coercion and transportation of women and girls in interstate commerce to engage in illegal sexual activity. That's what he was convicted for. Sexual exploitation of children. All right. So that's what he was convicted for. So, what I'm asking y'all is, do we have the same standards as we had in yesteryear? I guess we all different now, huh? I guess we got a different standard. I get everything is different. Nobody is tripping. Hey, it don't really matter how old she is. I see some people in the chat saying the age of consent is 16. Yo, listen, fam. If you are, how old is R. Kelly? R. Kelly is now 58. R. Kelly is now 58 years old. Diddy is 55. R. Kelly is 58. All right. So, what y'all basically telling me is that the Kelster, because even if he was convicted in 2001 or 2021, it's 4 years ago, he was still in his 50s. So, let's say, for example, he had did crimes 20 years ago. That means that he would be 38. He almost 40 years old. This dude been out here in these streets for a long time. So let me ask y'all a question. Let's say this was 10 years ago when he was almost 50. He was going on 50. And you think that the age of consent being 16 years old is a viable age for a grown man that is almost 50 to be talking about? I'm just asking. I gotta know the temperature because R. Kelly is got blood clots. That's big news. It's all over the news, so we gonna cover it. We covering everything popular culture, and I'm trying to figure out where your mind is at. It's not. It don't have. This is not the same thing with Diddy. There are no minors that saying that Diddy did anything. These is all fully grown women that is testifying against Diddy. Ain't got nothing to do with that. Williams says the age of consent is 16, 17, and 18, depending on the state. I personally wouldn't. Let me tell you something, bro. If I ever, my daughter is 17 years old. If I ever seen a 40-year-old man pull up to the house, I will kill you dead and I will leave you where you lay. If I see a 40, 50-year-old man pull up to the house talking about where your daughter at and this nigga older than me, I will kill you dead. I will leave you where you lay. I'm just telling you right now. You can talk that age of consent stuff with somebody else. Y'all can talk that technicality. This is what the laws are. All of this stuff. Shoot first, ask questions later. That's what I'm telling you. It's all going down right then and there. Real talk. It's either gonna be me or you. I hope it's worth it. I hope it's worth it. I hope it's worth the risk. See, y'all keep getting caught up on Chris Hansen's MSNBC and stuff like that. I think that y'all be catching it light. When the police officers arrest y'all for coming and kick it with, I believe that finding a man, a grown man with a underage girl should be grounds for stand your grounds law. I think it should be the same way. I don't think that your life should be in danger. I think that if you catch a grown man with a little kid, that should be grounds for being able to completely get off, never even be arrested for peeling somebody's muffin top back. Honest to God. I honestly believe that in my heart. I know that we didn't have these conversations often on this channel, on other channels, on panels, on platforms. And I'm thankful that you guys have felt compelled to be able to illustrate how it is that you feel about underage. But I believe that that should be grounds to just right off, take the whole top off. No questions asked. No, none of that. Honestly. And I know that y'all gonna feel some type of way. Oh, Anton, listen, I'm not riding with you on this one, big dog. Let me go ahead and turn this red. I'm not riding with you. I support my guys on a lot of things. That's not one of them. We got to be equal accountability partners, and that's not it. That one is not it. I think that you should go out. That's the end of your lifespan. We shouldn't have no more conversations with you about it. We ain't no trials, ain't no conversations, ain't none of that. Think about it. Even prisoners, even some of the most egregious killers in the world understand the game. They be like, you know what? But if you really did that in real life, that's a problem. This ain't like Me Too. This ain't like none of that. That's his own issue. The thing about children, because women are grown now. You know what I'm saying? I can understand the changes with women in that people are saying, yo, listen, no, we got to move a little bit different. Women can choose for themselves. They out here Me Tooing dudes. So now we've kind of evolved over time because it used to be women and children were off limits. You know what I'm saying? You can't necessarily, women and all of that stuff. But women been setting men up. They've been getting them killed. I just looked at a story that I decided not to do today where a woman was stealing something off of a guy. They getting them set up, killed, all of that stuff. And so the women of today that say that men don't protect them no more, based off of the whole K. Michelle conversation, they different. This is a different breed of woman. So I believe to a certain extent, depending on what you're doing as a woman, we got to remove them out of the equation. But the kids are still right there. The kids still got to be protected because they don't even have the capacity to defend themselves. They don't have you know what I'm saying? They're not even old enough to really get themselves together. Kids are still right there. So I know y'all want everything to be liberal. I know that they continuing to push this whole liberal agenda where people can't tell who it is that they like. That's how they started with the alphabet community so that they can eventually push it over to animals and children. And the logic is this. This is the legislation a lot of times that they keep trying to push through unsuccessfully over in California. The logic is this. This is the reason how they reasoning with it. And it makes sense. And this is why y'all got to be careful of what you open up the door to. Why you got to be careful about Pandora's box. Because what they basically doing is saying, okay, if you can't define what a woman is and you can't help who you're attracted to, and that should be a part of our rights. That should be a part of your rights as a human being inside of the United States of America, that you can love who you want because we can't control who we attracted to. They say being gay, being trans is being caught in another person's body. Your sexuality and gender is two separate things. They've now separated it. They trying to push this in our agenda. And you then make this argument on my panels. Cool. Well, then now the argument is, well, if you can't control who you attracted to, then that means that should go across the board, because a lack of control or a lack of a lack of consciousness when it comes to attraction, that shouldn't be defined by just whether or not it's a man or a woman. They saying that you should be attracted to an animal. You should take off the limits of being attracted to a kid, all of that stuff. And I'm not going for it, bro. I'm not going for it. I know y'all keep on trying to push it. I'm not going for it. Nope. 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 And this is why I said we never should have opened up that box in the first place. And so again, I know that y'all all, no, man, but I just like them younger. Okay. Stay above 21, 20, whatever it is that you got to do to be legal, cool. Stay there. But the minute that you cross the line, teetering over, oh, I didn't know. That's all I got to say about that. Um, yeah, man. Yeah, I'm not with it. So, God bless R. Kelly. I think he made some of the greatest music of all time, but I don't know what to say about that. I can't personally advocate for everybody to be free. That's just not my thing. I can't do it, bro.